Alright, all y'all, welcome to my nightmare. This is a mixture of heaven and hell, let me tell you, because I look at this and I'm like, oh boy, the gloriousness, the beautifulness of this ridiculous absurdity. So, obviously today we are decluttering the highlighter madness. I believe we are at 280 something. So sort of in the same vein as my blush, if we could declutter like around the 50 mark. And when it comes to highlighter, what I'm going to be focusing on is getting rid of ones that are too dark for me, that are just sitting there because I don't like breaking up families, and ones that are old formulas that I know have started to go off, aren't really performing like they used to. We're going to be doing a little bit of comparison because we've got a couple different like duochromatic whatevers from a couple different brands and different whatevers, but I'm just gonna jump right in on this because y'all know this is gonna be a long one. Get you a monster, get you some mac and cheese, sit on down, and we're gonna do this. Like my blush, I'm not gonna be swatching. I'm gonna be swatching for comparison and testing formula, but I'm not gonna be swatching, just swatching them all after I do this declutter. There will be a collection video, and swatching just makes me more inclined to keep something. I just wanna be going from my gut, from my heart, from my whatever. So let's just get on in and hopefully we can make some sense out of the madness. Okay, let's just sort of make our way up. We have got two Jouer highlighters right here. I have got Citrine and Celestial. Citrine is beautiful. This is one of my like top warm when in the summertime when I have a little bit more color, this is perfect. It's too dark for me in the wintertime. This one is like my winter thing. I love this formula. I wish they had some more like pasty friendly shades. It's fantastic that they've got all the shades for the deeper melanin, but I love the formula and I would like to have more, but for now we have these two and I'm keeping them. Then another obvious keep, y'all know I have raved and loved these for a very long time. These are the Ciate London Glow 2 highlighters. Once again, an absolutely stunning formula. This one isn't the typical formula. It's kind of more of just a like ethereal sheen. This one is in rainbow. Then this one here is the special Jessica Rabbit. It's okay. It's not like a fantastic bomb diggity whateverness, but I do love me the packaging and all of that going on there. So I am going to be keeping that. Then in their regular ones, we have got Solstice right here, which is nice and pinky toned. This one here in Moon Dust is one of my most used ones. Then this one here in Starburst is most definitely my most used one. And this one, I love this one. It's a little bit deep. This is Celestial, but when I have me a little bit of color and I'm less pasty, this is it's beautiful. I love this formula. It is very underrated. Then another very underrated formula are these ones from Ulta. They're cruelty free. They're $10. You can't go wrong. I am going to declutter this one. This one is in Radiant Diamond just because it's too deep for me. It is a beautiful highlighter. If you've got a deeper skin tone and you want a nice affordable highlighter, this is popping. It's beautiful. I am gonna keep this one here in Yellow Diamond, then this one here in Brilliant Diamond. This is a fantastic dupe for Becca's Pearl. Then this one here. Let me swatch this bad boy. I was thinking about decluttering that, but that is so pretty. Gonna keep that one. And then these three right here are like duochromatic, and these are so good if you're wanting something like the KVD Alchemist palette or something along those lines, but you don't want to spend the money. These are fantastic. Once again, I love how I said I wasn't going to swatch nothing, but look, they're so beautiful. They're so smooth. It's that one, and that one going from top to bottom. We've got Prismatic Fairy Jeffree. This one here is Prismatic Mermaid, and this one is Prismatic Unicorn. A beautiful, once again, underrated formula, and I'm really hoping to cut this down so I can use these ones that are sitting here and they're beautiful, but I'm not using them because I've got way too many. Obviously, we've got to talk Ofra. Ofra has one of my favorite formulas. Definitely top 10, probably top 5 if I'm being real honest with y'all. This one here is Glow Goals. This was when Nikki Tutorials did that like trio. This was the one of the trio shades. Obviously too deep for me now, but once again in the summertime, this is one I love along with Rodeo Drive. And if I'm honestly keeping some of these deeper ones, it'll be easier for me to declutter other ones that are just a little bit too dark. This one here is Star Island, perfect pale person gold, glazed donut right here, another pale person friendly shade. We got Pillow Talk, and then these ones over here are these beautiful duochromatic shifty. That's that nice icy blue going on here. That one is in, what is this? Space Baby. And this is Cloud 9. Just a beautiful, if you have not bit the bullet on these, it took me a long time because I was like, oh, they're an influencer brand. How good can they be? They bomb diggity. They're absolutely fantastic. Then let's tackle some of these Makeup Revolution ones. I have held on to these for I don't know how long. I've had these for a really long time. These ones I'm pretty sure are still really good. Let's pull them all over, open them up, and take a look-see. So starting off, we have got their strobe highlighters up here, as well as these ones. These 4 I am keeping. They're very like shimmery, shiny, ka-cha. This one here in holographic lights is amazing. It's like this white gold with kind of a greeny shift. Once again, if you're wanting to try kind of a funky, crazy highlighter color, but don't want to spend a lot of money, this is bomb diggity. Then I'm also going to be keeping Supernova, as well as Magnitude and Northern Lights. I am finally going to declutter this one. This is one of their just Vivid Baked highlighter one in matte lights. I held on to it for such an extended period of time because I'm like, it'll be so great when I do my vampire whatevers and I need a highlighter, but I need it to be matte. Your girl does not do matte, so it's really smooth, it's really nice, it's very finely milled, but it's not something that I've reached for at all after every time I haven't decluttered it. And then these ones here, oh my goodness, I think I'm gonna declutter them, not because they're like too old, but just because they're like a little bit more subtle than I like. Yeah, think more like Hourglass ambient lighting powders, so I'm just not reaching for these. I've got other subtle highlighters that I like better than these. Then these 3 I had pulled into like a rotation. These I think are just old. They're just not performing like they used to. They feel really nice, but they're just not coming off on a brush for me. They're just not giving me the cha-cha that you all know I am looking for in a highlighter. I've got other baked formulas that I've got coming up from like JCat and other brands that I, are newer, that I like more, that are performing better. So these are probably going to be pitched or offered up to like nieces. And last but not least is this fun one from Makeup Revolution, duh. But this was a Halloween one. This one here is in Haunted Lights. It's kind of this pinky duochrome situation going on. I could honestly probably get away with decluttering it because I got those ones from Ulta, and I know there are a bunch of other ones like the Ofra one and the whatever. We're gonna maybe pile this and then see how many pink duochromatic whatever ones that I have. Okay, on to over here. So these these are falling under, y'all would have seen in blush and everything like that. These fall under the sentimental and not cruelty free. These, while I was going back and forth between taking care of my grandparents, were a gift from my grandfather, so they are disgustingly sentimental. I think I need to pull these out of my collection and put them somewhere where I can just have them and everything like that, because they're not really getting used. This one is in 100 Master Holographic. This one is in 050. We've got the Master Chrome in Molten Rose Gold. This one, which is way too dark for me, is Molten Topaz. Then I actually probably should try to use these. Molten Gold, which is the one that started it all. Molten Peach. And then these ones from L'Oreal. I actually really want to pull this one out this summer because it looks all kinds of beautiful. This one is in number 10 and this is in number 20. Next up, another hideously underrated highlighter formula are these Lorac illuminating highlighters. These are absolutely gorgeous. If you want a very smooth lit from within, it's not going to emphasize any texture or anything like that, these would be right up your alley. The only one that I might not keep is this one here in Twilight, just because it might be a little bit, oh, they're so smooth, but it might be a little deep, a little rich. That's coming off very bronzy. Let me test it against one of the Ofra ones. It's actually pretty spot on with Glow Goals from Ofra, and that one I know I can use in the summertime, so I will be keeping these along with this one, which was from the Beauties Who Brunch collection. That's Limelight. This one was Moonlight, I think. No, that one's Moonlight. This one is Twilight. Then we have Daylight and Starlight. Then this little group here, this is the Laura Mercier Baked Matte quote-unquote highlighter in 01. This is a beautiful goldy peachy highlighter for just a gorgeous ethereal lit from within. Then we have these glowy gossamer duos by Pixi by Petra. These are a huge favorite here on YouTube by a lot of people. This one here is in Delicate Dew, and this one is in Subtle Sunrise. I just don't really get on with these. Like, I don't know if it's the formula, if I'm like stupid, not know what I'm doing. So these ones I'm actually going to declutter because I just don't reach for them. I swatch them and they're pretty, but I don't wear them on my face. Obviously, we be keeping Miss M. Resi. This actually took me a while to like, I had to find the right kind of brush to use it, and then I fell in love with it. Everyone loves it. The packaging is A++, and it is a beautiful highlighter. Anastasia needs to take this formula, run with it, and give us a whole line. Then Urban Decay. Now, I can't remember which video I talked about these in. It might have been a makeup I need to use more, or I don't know. But I've just come to the realization that I don't like these. I've pulled them into rotations and they just don't do it for me. So this one is in Sin, this one is in Fireball, and this one is in Aura, and all three of them are gonna go. It's just not a formula that I'm like blown away by. All right, back over to this section here. I am actually going to be decluttering these from Wet n Wild. These were part of their Zodiac collection. Absolutely no idea which colors they are. They're a nice formula. You can laugh at me all you want. I just absolutely hate storing them. So these two are gonna go. Then you all know ya girl loves the collab highlighters. Another disgustingly underrated formula. These are so smooth. I would recommend these to people more than Becca highlighters. They are that good. We have got Uncensored, this one here, Glow for the Gold, and then Out of This World. They do have, I think, two more deeper shades. highly recommend these. Then we might as well tackle the elephant in the room, Wet and Wild. I am not wild. I'm so funny about this formula. I know a lot of people love it. I find that it is relatively inconsistent between shades. So we're going to start off with that. I mean, I'm dumb and I was like, I need all the shades. So I bought this stupid Diamond Lily Silver Whateverness. That one's gonna go along with Royal Calyx. If I'm gonna go for a purple highlighter, I've got ones that have a hint, a touch, a sheen of purple. I'm not gonna go just crazy balls to the wall. This one here is in Crown of My Canopy. It's just too deep. I bought it along with Precious Petals when they first came out because I was like, I need everything. So those three are gonna go. Then we've got Golden Flower Crown, which I like. We've got Precious Petals. I do like Botanic Dream. Blossom Glow is a really nice pale person friendly pink. Then we get into kind of the limited edition crazy color situation. I mean, the imprint on this is absolutely stunning, but it's got a lot of color back pigment to it, so it is blue. So I think I'm gonna, as pretty as it is, once again, I've got that Nikki Tutorials Space Baby one that's got the blue hint in it. That really gives me the effect I want. So this one's gonna go as well. I do love this one. This is another goldy greeny. Have no idea what color this was. It's one of the Halloween ones. I also love this one from the Gothographic collection. This one is a really nice kind of blue shifty shade. I like that. I'm gonna hold on to these two, which this color here, this one was supposed to be like the permanent version of that. You do not get the same effect with this as you get with that. This is a superior formula. And then I'm gonna hold on to this one from the Gothographic collection a little bit longer. Then we might as well get another underrated highlighter formula. I should do a video just discussing underrated highlighter formulas. Let me know if y'all want to see that, because I could totally get behind doing that video. These are the Black Moon Cosmetics Moonlighters. This one here is in Shroom, which is one of the more natural. It's like a pinky. You really can't see. It's like a kind of like a neutral whatever color with like a pinky shift. Just letting you know that I'm keeping all of these. This one is Squid Jellyfish. Then this one is Cat Shark. This one here is in Squid. Centipede, which is another kind of neutral shade. And then my favorite is Glowworm. This is such a beautiful, like goldy, greeny, shifty. I love green, basically, on my face, all over my face. And this one gives such a beautiful sheen. These are absolutely stunning. Okay, let's get Smashbox, which is a brand that I don't own a lot from. I feel like their overall aesthetic just isn't my thing. These are the highlighters that were in collaboration with Vlada, and then this was the highlighter in collaboration with the Hood Witch. I mean, Smashbox, if their whole aesthetic was like done like these, like their collaborations, I would lose my mind. I mean, I would just be buried with this. It is so beautiful. We've got these shades here. I'm okay with getting rid of those Makeup Revolution, those more subtle ones, because this is a superior formula and I like the subtle glow it gives me. And then these two, this one was exclusive to Sephora, and then this one as a blush topper. Both of these, so beautiful, because the powders are just such a delicious formula. They look amazing on the skin. And then this one here is a very, okay, all right, this is like a pinky, shifty whateverness going on like that. So I'm keeping this. I feel okay to get rid of the Haunted Lights, which is basically the same thing. Both are limited edition. You can't get either of them anymore, I think, and obviously packaging superiority. So we're making good, rational decisions. I feel good. Next up is Tarte. Now, I've said this before about just Tarte on a whole. I decluttered all of my Tarte blushes in the blush declutter. They are just not a brand that gets me in all sorts of ways. If I were to remove everything Tarte from my collection, I think I would be okay. I really like this one. This is the Spellbound Glow. This one here, woohoo, is in Stunner. And this one here in Sparkler is just too dark for me. I don't like it, how it looks on my skin. I don't know if it has to do with the undertone, but it's just not my thing, so it's gonna go. And these two here are gonna stay. It is a beautiful formula. I wanted to get exposed for the longest time, but clearly, I don't need to add nothing to this. Another sort of, you would have seen in my blush declutter, I was like, oh my goodness, I love these. Okay, all right. These are such a nice beginner-friendly highlighter formula. I got mine on sale. Ulta was having some kind of deal on the blushes, and the highlighters were $10 a piece, and I was like, you know what, fine. Curiosity killed the YouTuber. And they're really nice. They're more of a subtle, buildable. Once again, I'll reach for these when I want a nice, natural, not streak of metal on my cheek, look sort of thing. I'm kind of mad that they're like so nice. This one here is in Queen Drip. I love this one here in Quartz. Then we have this one in Princess Please. I love this one. This one is such a nice, flattering, yellowy gold. Like, it's yellow without being, like, gnarly on your skin. Dreaming of Diamonds. And then Ice Me Out. And finally, Cheers, Darling. When I first got these, I was like, yeah, sure, just pay the $10. But now that I've used them and the fact that they're just kind of like a subtle to buildable, you can get a really nice cha-cha off of these. I would say they're even worth the full price. This is a product that really surprised me that I definitely changed my mind about. Next up are these ones from AOA Studio. I really like the blushes, not as blushes on their own, but as like a blush topper and like a starter as a highlighter. And they actually have the exact same shade as a blush. This one's just marketed as a highlighter. The other one's marketed as a blush. So I'm going to declutter this one just for the sake that I don't need two. This one is in Love Lust. And then I'm going to get rid of this one because it is too deepy deep. Let's see here. Sunstone. And then this one here, just a minute. In all honesty, I'm just going to declutter all of them. The formula of the blushes just lend themselves to being layered over a blush better than these are just being a highlighter. They're not powdery, but they tend to kind of piff off the skin where they're not really giving you that really crazy, awesome, or even a subtle glow. They don't last long. They don't adhere to your skin very well. So these, like I said, the blush ones I really liked. I thought those were great for what I like using them for. But these as just standalone highlighters it's just not doing it for me. It's not worth it to take up real estate in my collection. Then just a little category right here. These are Melt Cosmetics. It's actually kind of funny. These are their blush lights. That's what they're called. This is Ghost Light, and this one here is in Shadow Play. They're a duochromatic shifts. One shift's kind of pinky, and then one shift's very blue. They're smooth, they're beautiful. It does give me a little bit of agita that those two are highlighters, and they're not the same size as the highlighters they released later. I definitely need to film a underrated highlighter video. It's happening. Then these ones are their digital dust highlighters. These, if any of y'all know a good way to use these, they're like really hard pressed in the pan, and I don't find that I'm able to get like that on my face. Like, I'm not getting them to pick up on a brush all nicey nice. It's like you swatch that shiz and you're just like, oh boy, that's gonna be molten deliciousness across my cheekbones. I am gonna keep them because they were pricey and I want to make them work. But if any of y'all have an idea of, how to make them work, what kind of brush, this one is in Morning Star, and then this one is in Stargazer. Y'all, we've been going for a half hour and we ain't even like half finished. I may have to break this up into 2 parts just because I don't want to just an hour long. No, I mean, I've already done the eyeshadow palettes and the blush. Okay, let's just get on. We'll see how we do. Okay, Monsieur Jeffree Star. Y'all know your girl has the biggest love-hate relationship with this formula. It is thicker. It is, kind of more texture enhancing. It is inconsistent between highlighters. I've decluttered a whole bunch of them, but I really want to get my use out of these. I love Ice Cold, I love Eclipse here, and I love Peach Goddess. So I'm going to keep these for now, and what I'm hoping to do, part of what I hate about them, which is a personal thing, I like having my highlighters up like this in their cute little baskets in my drawers. That is just a me thing, but what I'm hoping to do is free enough space so that I can have a basket where these oversized ones can lay in so that they're actually in my collection. I see them, I'm gonna use them. Then speaking of oversized highlighters, we've got this beautiful one from Essence called Cubanita. This is it's like the Essence Pure Nude, but a little bit more cha-cha. This was a gift from a subscriber. I need to use it more, and I'm keeping it. This one is the Too Faced X Pretty Mess. How many F's do I give? This is an amazing formula. If they were to take this formula and run with it and give us a whole bunch of highlighters, I would finally stop giving them flack for I keep having inconsistent and crappy highlighter formulas. Kind of like this, which is hard pressed and subtle and kind of just a little bit there. But I'm going to be one of those people, and I'm going to keep it because I paid my money for it and because I bought it recently. I knew what I was doing. It's a product that I shouldn't have purchased. But since we've reached this point, we're going to keep it. More Shop Miss A highlighters. Now these I'm kind of torn about because I like having a plethora of options for y'all because not everyone has the dough to buy Natasha Denona. So having an option that's $1 is, I want to be able to be like, okay, you can get a fancy glow for less money. And these are okay. They're kind of like, the ambient lighting powder's less finely milled sister. And while they're kind of okay, I just don't know if keeping them in my collection is feasible because I just don't know if I'm going to use them. And if I'm not using them, there's no point in having them in here because if I'm not using them, I'm not going to be recommending them. They're kind of a fainter, softer, more strobing. They're pretty hard pressed. They're thicker, kind of like the Jeffree Star ones. So you got to have a pretty dense brush. Fluffy brush ain't going to pick this shiz up. So I think for the sake of practicality, I am just going to declutter these because I don't see them really getting a lot of use in my collection. Okay, let's tackle some kind of just like odds and ends here. I've got these two from Covergirl. This one is so nice. It is such a beautiful, underrated highlighter. It's got a little bit of shine, a little bit of twinkle, but it's not something that's going to go all over. It's just the Peach Punch highlighter. And then this one is their True Blend Super Stunner highlighter. This one is in Pearl Crush. Beautiful. Gonna keep them. And I really want to keep this. It's a subtle, softer. I typically, kind of sweep this over the tops of my cheeks when I'm wearing a peachier blush because it's just this kind of soft, peachy, rosy gold, whatever situation. But I did declutter my Benefit blushes because they're not cruelty free. So I'm going to put this in the maybe pile and see if I have anything to compare it to. Let's get into some obvious. Y'all know your girl loves her Natasha Denona Super Glow highlighters. This is an expensive formula that I definitely recommend. I recommend these over Becca too. So this one here is in the, oh my goodness, light to medium, which is, I can bounce between both of these all year round. And this one is the fair. And then this one is the deep, which looked a lot less, whatever this is. They said it was gonna be like bronze, but it's definitely a bit more yellow gold. I'm still kind of, I was a moron and was like, oh, the 20% off Sephora sale, I need it. Which, you know, that ain't working for my pasty whateverness. But I am still trying to try and find like the right mixture so that I can get the hint of this really pretty color on my cheeks without it being, you know, stark against me. I might try to use this as a blush topper over like an orange or corally or peachy blush to see what that looks like. But these are a formula that I highly, highly recommend. Prime out of my cold dead hands. Another beautiful highlighter formula is this Persona highlighter in Zuma. It's just this beautiful rosy gold that is just, this formula is so smooth on the skin. I would say it's very similar to Ofra, to Ciate London, to the Jouer. It is just absolutely gorgeous, and this is one of my favorite summertime shades. Next, I have these two little babies from Milk Makeup. I got these on sale, and these were a product that really surprised me. This one is in God only knows. Yeah, they are nameless. They are purple and peach, and they're really nice. Like, they've got, you look at that and you're like, oh, that's gonna be so intimidating because it's purpley, and this one is just so beautiful. They add such just a nice level of dimension to your face. They're just so beautiful. Trying these out made me super tempted to want to get that highlighter palette they released that was disgustingly overpriced and was going in and out of being on sale, but I didn't buy it because I don't need another highlighter palette, but I really like these two. Okay, we have got, these I have battled with for so long. Any of y'all who've been with me through a lot of declutters have seen these repeatedly. They have made it through Declutter after Declutter, Goddess of Faith, Golden Goddess, Goddess of Love, and then Rainbow Highlighter. Like, I'll swatch them and I'll be like, oh boy, oh bomb diggity, yes. And then sort of like the other Makeup Revolution ones and the AOA Studio ones, they just kind of piff on the skin. They don't, what you see here in the swatch isn't really what you're getting on your face. They're bulky, they're clunky. I think I'm finally at the point where I am enlightened enough to realize that I am not going to be using these. And I mean, I've just got so many other highlighters that I use. Y'all know this. I don't want to hold on to something that I'm not going to reach for just for being like, oh, well, it's pretty when it's swatched. These are the Makeup Obsession Baked Highlighters. This is a newer brand that's at Target. I will be straight up and upfront with y'all. This is not my favorite baked formula. You know, it's pretty and it looks like that, but I find with some baked formulas, because they're so dry, they do tend to take a lot of work to get to apply onto your skin. You know, they're not as smooth, they're just not as easy to work with because they're so powdery. So the swatches look bomb diggity, but then when you're taking your brush and applying it to your face, it sometimes just doesn't translate. I do really like this purple shade. It looks very, very purple in the pan, but it's actually a more wearable crazy color. I think I am gonna put all of these in the maybe pile for now and then see where we're at the end and kind of compare colors. I haven't had these for too long of a time, but at the same time, even if you haven't had it for that long and you know you're not in love with it, you know, it's kind of just, yeah. Two really pretty and underrated formula are these ones from BareMinerals. This one here is in Free. And then this is another kind of like duochromy pinky shiftiness. This one is in Whimsy. These are both a really nice formula. I need to use this one a bit more. This one, that's their lightest shade. That's the middle one. And then they had one that I returned, which was too deep. I need to pull this one out more in the summer. It is just a very smooth and beautiful finely milled formula. So I am going to be keeping these two. Then while we're on BareMinerals, I might as well address these invisible glow powders. I picked all of these up at Marshall's. They are not something that I paid full price for. This was definitely it's not a product I regret buying, but probably a product that I shouldn't have bought. Oh, but that's so pretty right there. You see that twinkle? Look at that. I mean, these are definitely more of like a translucent veiling powder situation. You know, as the name suggests, they are invisible. This one here is in medium. Then I believe this one is light, fair to light. And then because I'm a moron and have issues with spending money, this one is tan, which we all know your girl is not tan. Although it's not, let me just a minute. Got kind of a bronzy, peachy kickback. I think what I'm gonna do, because these ones are just so much more finely milled, and I like using these as sort of a starter highlighter. Like if I'm doing a blush and I wanna like blend or smooth or whatever, I'll layer these over and then I'll layer a highlighter on top. I would kind of do the same thing with these. So I'm gonna declutter these two because the shades are very similar, and I'm gonna keep the BareMinerals ones. Then we have Hourglass. These are the ambient strobe, quote unquote, lighting powders. These are not any sort of cha-cha. They're very finely milled, kind of light diffusing, sort of in the same way as those BareMinerals ones, where they're just like a soft, diffused, subtle. Oh my goodness, I need to decide what I'm doing with this. Like, my stars. Like, I've had them. They were expensive. I do not use them. These, I think for right now, are gonna go into the maybe section. Then two that I do absolutely love. I am absolutely so sad that these are not available anymore. I got these off of Ulta. They are the Model's Own Sculpt and Glow Highlighting Powder. This one is in Peach Pearl, and then this one is in Golden Sand. First time I applied that shiz to my face, I just about had a ever-loving moment. It was just, this is a beautiful, beautiful formula. I think it might fall under that baked gelée whateverness going on, but these are absolutely stunning. Then two here that I can honestly probably, this was definitely something I shouldn't have purchased. This is a filter finish setting powder by L'Oreal. I saw someone's highlighter collection or declutter, and there's like, I use this as a subtle highlighter, and I was like, okay, I'll buy it. I mean, it is very much just sort of a subtle highlighter, but if I'm keeping like the Hourglass and the BareMinerals, I mean, come on. I mean, no, that is not something I need to keep. I was stupid for buying it. Then something else. This is the Pure Afterglow highlighter. They have since repackaged this. I don't know if they've reformulated it, but they have repackaged it. I just swatched it and it's okay. I've got other highlighters that give me that same effect and better. This does not bring me joy, so I'm gonna declutter this. Next up is definitely YouTube made me buy it. These are the LA Girl Strobe Light Strobing Powders. Nikki Tutorials Snapchatted about these and everybody lost their ever-loving mind. Me included, because I'm a moron. I don't use these nearly as much as I should. They are kind of more like the Jeffree Star highlighters, where they're thicker. You know, they're not really powdery, but they're just not as smooth as a formula as, say, like if you're getting from Ofra or the e.l.f. Wet and, not the Wet and Wild, bleh. You know, they're just a bit thicker. They pack a lot of punch, but they're thicker and not necessarily the most forgiving on texture. Then this one here in 50 watt is just a wee bit deep. I've already got ones from Ofra and other brands that I've kept that if I'm gonna have a deeper summer highlighter, I'll reach for those. So this one's gonna go. And then I think for now, I'm gonna keep these ones and pull them into rotation. That's 80 watt. This one here is 100 watt, and this one is 90 watt. These are shades that I think will look pretty good on me, so we'll just have to make up rotation and see. Okay, more on the duochrome front. These are from Makeup Academy. I think that's an English brand? Could be completely wrong, but these were actually sent to me by a subscriber. They're a baked formula that's really focus. Thank you. They're a baked formula that's really pretty. These two are very like duochromy. So we got a pinky one right here, which is in peach diamond. Then this one is in pearlescent sheen. And then this one here is my favorite in iridescent gold. This one is just so pretty if you're wanting a little something. So these three I'm going to be keeping. Okay, I am going to call it for thus far. I'm going to film the rest of this, and at the end of that video, so definitely stay tuned for that, we will tally up what we are keeping and what we have decluttered. I just don't want that one video to be like 50 billion minutes long, and it already is. We've done a little over half, so obviously enjoy this video and stay tuned for the second portion of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and as always, keep it real, and I will see you in part 2 of the massive highlighter declutter.